Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, how you're doing, where you're from, how excited you are to learn about price sheets today, all the things. Let me know if you've had as much coffee as I have. But yes. Hello. Hey, Mark. Alabama. Hey, Mike. Hey, Cynthia. Hi. All right. Great. You can hear me. Perfect. When it's just you in the room, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. I don't always believe the technology that's telling me it's okay. So, all right, Arkansas. Oh, Vancouver, nice. Awesome. Hi, Laura. South Texas, nice. I was actually just in Austin, also drove through Alabama. So, back in Florida now. So, welcome. Oh, North Carolina. Hi, Chris. Welcome, guys. Very cool. How is everybody doing this season? Yay. Hi from Colorado. Hi. One of our support people, one of our bubble girls is in Colorado as well. Mark, your life is so hard. Just got back from Cancun. Nice. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I will since you just did that, but just got back from Hawaii as well. Awesome. Yay. Thanks, David. Yes. How many of you guys are ready to be price sheet masters or at least expand your thinking and then teach you how to utilize the most that you can out of photo day price sheets? They're pretty cool. They are not your average price sheets, that's for sure. So um, I'll just go ahead as far as what you think you know, especially coming over from paper order forms, throw it all out. We're not doing that. So it's a little bit different in an online world, but for all the right reasons. Oh my gosh, nice, Sean. Wow. I've been seeing a lot of gymnastic pictures from you guys and they're pretty awesome. I all the different poses and stuff like that. It's so cool and the dramatic lighting. I love it. Nice. All right, Mike's ready. Perfect. All right. We'll just give people a couple minutes to get here. Just a little bit of time. If you do happen to, for whatever reason, if you happen to miss this or you know someone that did miss it that wanted to watch it, the replay will be available for you guys in the Academy section of your studio dashboard. So you can rewatch it there. We'll also have it up on YouTube so you can watch it there as well, or share it with people that might have missed it. Or you can rewatch it if I go too fast, which I when I get really excited about price sheets, I tend to do. So I might go too fast and skip over something, or you might not catch it. And then you'll be able to replay it and rewatch it. Yes, yes, absolutely. Sean said that the extra poses were great to offer. One of the main benefits of being able to sell not only through Photo Day, but being able to showcase your images in a gallery first online option versus something that's more like package heavy in the beginning. So offering multiple poses is a great solution for that. And images are your inventory. So the more images you have, the more likely you are to have higher AOVs. But yeah, all right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to kind of go over some stuff with price sheets. So we're going to start from the beginning and then I'll do some demoing and kind of give you some towards the end. We'll do some like photo day hacks, if you will. So get pretty excited. It's gonna be a fun, information heavy webinar. So we just love teaching you guys everything we can to make you as successful as possible. All right. So start with our pretty slide. This, in case you guys didn't know and you just wanted to pop in and hang out, this is a webinar all about price sheets. So we're going to teach you how to set up your photo day price sheets, some of the great tips and tools that you can learn how to set up a successful price sheet within photo day and for your jobs, and then the different types of things that you can do to expand on your selling within photo day and generating your price sheets. So it'll be pretty fun. First and foremost, With being online, we are a lot different. Back in the day, you would use paper order forms, and selling online is a lot different than selling paper order forms. If you have a hybrid system, there are ways that you can kind of like migrate the two, but there are no more paper order forms when you go online. This creates a lot of frictionless ordering with your customers, which is just because of the general climate that we're in right now. This is something that actually people are expecting. So if this is something that you maybe weren't used to doing, and you're new to online, um, I'll just be honest with you guys. Confession. When I first started using Photo Day as a studio, I did exactly what this slide kind of says is saying not to do. And I took my paper order form and I just plastered it online on Photo Day, and I just copied it over, and then I thought I was good to go. And then once I started getting involved in Photo Day and actually starting to realize all the main benefits of using Photo Day, I quickly realized that that's not the best practice that I could have been using. I kind of just like said goodbye to so much money because I did one pose of each kid. I just transferred over my paper order forms online, and there's just so much more that you can be doing when you have online sales. So we're going to go over that. So forget about paper order forms. No more paper order forms. Your storefront's online. With throwing out the paper order forms, also some things to consider when going online is long gone are the days of naming your packages A, B, C, D, etc. Because of the online storefront that we offer here at Photo Day, your customers are actually able to see the title of the packages, and this is valuable real estate for your customers to know exactly what is included in these packages, or not necessarily what's included in them, but who are they perfect for? I've seen all studios get so creative and display all sorts of title packages or different titles for their packages. And I'll show you guys some examples as well. But I mean, the world is your oyster. Do not be limited by the mindset of the paper order form days where you just have to list them alphabetically. It's pretty cool that now you can change that. Also, in the description, Photo Day already takes care of you, and with the descriptions, we provide that to your customers in addition to the description that you write with your packages. So you don't need to quantify what's going on in your packages anymore in your description. Again, valuable real estate. Who is this package good for? Maybe some of the high key points that are included in the package, like the free items or, the free items, as well as, how much they're saving. These are all valuable things that you can be including in your description. So it doesn't necessarily look like this because we're evolving out of this a bit. All right. And then the last thing is one of the most beneficial things with coming online and ordering online is that you are able to have your gallery first. So you are gallery facing first, and then we guide your customers into ordering their prints and packages, which is actually really beneficial because you can offer or showcase your images first. You're showing and you're utilizing multi-poses. You're showcasing your images, the reason why you guys are photographers in the first place, and you're showcasing that off to your parents so they can see before they buy. They're not like kind of like tied into like this like based off like some of the feedback that you get from like parents sometimes, or that we've specifically gotten, maybe from parents, where it's just like, I don't want to just order like one image, I want to order more. And that is a great problem to have when you're showcasing your images and multiple images up front, that you're leading your customer into a storefront where they look at the pictures and they're like, oh man, I can't pick just one. I want to order all of these, and you guide them to a storefront where that's absolutely possible, and you generate packages that accommodate those type of requests. But yeah, so we want you guys showcasing your images. All right, so the first thing, there are a couple things to consider when you are doing price sheets online. One of the main things is that you want to, let me make sure, there, one more slide, sorry. Cost versus value, your package name and descriptions. Are you going to be offering anything, any sort of promos or anything like that? And if you are you putting that into consideration when you're writing up your margins? And then also poses. How many poses are you going to be offering? Are you going to be utilizing like different subjects within the poses, just like we showed you guys in the previous previous slide with like, are you going to be doing coach and child buddy shots, sibling shots, family shots, any of those type of things? Or is it, maybe not necessarily sports, but let's say you're doing, dance is really popular right now. Are you doing a bunch of different costumes for the subject? And how are you going to be basically catering your prey sheet for the gallery that you are displaying to your customers and publishing to your customers? So these are all things that you want to consider. Cost versus value. You don't want to just, I see this a lot as far as like the cost for you. So I'll start there first. The cost, knowing your worth. I hear this all the time in the bubble in customer success, where people are needing help with generating prey sheets, or they need advice. And one of the questions that they seem to ask a lot is, well, I know that I need to sell my products at least this much because this is what my competition is selling at. And like, while that's valuable information for you to know, like what the climate is around you for what other people are selling, maybe like an 8x10 at, you need to know your worth. You need to know what your like cost that's associated with going to picture day, the equipment that's involved, your time, your energy, the time away from your kids or your family. Those are all things that you need to consider when you're drafting up your price sheets and the cost that's associated. Also, the value. Are you providing them with like, something where it's just like, this is a last minute thing, they asked me to come on. I don't, the teams are really tight. I don't have time to, maybe utilize a bunch of different multi-poses, or I'm being stuck into a closet and maybe, I don't have the chance to do as dramatic lighting, maybe like on the field as I wanted or something like that. So what's the value that you're going to be able to provide to your customers, and then pricing yourself accordingly for that. So there's always a cost versus value. You're not going to just set yourself up like, well, my time's valuable, so everything's $1,000. You're not really providing the most value. So there is like a scale for that. So those are 4 important things to consider. All right. We're going to go ahead and, being a teacher, I love a good quiz. So you don't necessarily have to take out a paper and pen, but go ahead and get your notepad ready, even if it's on your phone or something like that. But we're going to go ahead and figure out exactly how to start from scratch. You were using paper order forms, or you are being, offered new jobs in maybe a genre that you're not particularly familiar with. So you're getting acquainted with something for the first time. You need to draft up a new price sheet. So we need to figure out, okay, how do I start from nothing and build a price sheet? Now we're going to do, these are questions that you can answer to determine how you can build up your price sheet. So the first thing you need to ask is, what type of job is it? Are you doing youth sports, schools, school sports, dance, preschools, elementary, underclass, like high school, tournaments, other events like portrait session, or maybe like corporate session or anything like that? What type of shoot are you doing? All shoots are not priced the same. Just because you're doing volume, it might be different prices for, let's say youth sports is definitely not priced out the same way as dance at all. So those are different things to consider when you're drafting up your price sheets. You can't just do like a one and done for that. Again, going back to the cost versus value and all of the other things that you have to consider. All right, previous sales methods. What were you doing previously? Yes, I will be grading you. If you want to bribe the teacher though, then, I take coffee. So guaranteed A. So what were you using previously? Were you using paper order forms? Were you doing paper proofing? Were you printing on spec? Were you doing online prepay, online proofing, or is it a league buy option? All of these are different things to consider with doing your shoot. So if we're going down the list, let's say that I'm doing a youth sports and doing soccer that's coming up, and previously I was doing paper order forms. So that's where I'm at with my list and my quiz. All right, the next, what type of photographer are you? What type of photography do you populate or do you showcase to your customers to purchase? Is it traditional, where it's, where you set up is where you're shooting, and you have a natural background and artificial lighting? Are you doing green screen? Are you having to do knockouts? Are you doing composites where you're over and underlaying your images, your knockouts, your subjects to sell? Are you doing a combination of these things? Or have you been limited by basically by COVID, and like maybe you can do individuals, but now you're having to composite the team photos. These are all things to consider. These are also going to determine how much time is in your post processing workflow. Are you having to outsource some of this stuff because either you don't have the time or software to do this, so you have to pay, let's say, for knockouts, or did you have to pay for those composites? That all goes into your cost versus value and different, and how you charge yourself or how you set up your prices accordingly. All right. Oh, and then for everyone keeping up, I'm traditional, so we're going with that for mine. All right, what is your current AOV? This is a very important question that I'm actually really surprised that some people just don't know. And also it does depend on how you were shooting previously. AOV stands for average order value. So that is how much each order was and what's the average of that. Depending on how you were selling previously, you could just those paper order forms, let's say, because I seem to be on a trend with that, based off of the 100 order forms that you collected, what was the average sale for each of those orders? Typically with paper order forms, from what I've heard and from how I've sold personally, I've seen about $25 to $30 for my AOVs. So that is something that was with paper order forms. That's absolutely not something that I see with with selling online, which is really nice. It goes up. And I can say with Photo Day, and this spans all those genres that we talked about earlier, we're sitting at about $50 AOV. So keep in mind, dance might be higher, and youth sports might be a little lower, depending on, exactly like how you shoot that we talked previously. But it's good to do the legwork, know what, get that data ahead of time to know where you're kind of sitting. Because if you're shooting a new league, or a league that you've shot, let's say, for 7 years, and your AOV was like $20, and then you go online and then you raise your prices, you do the quiz, and you're just like, well, I was selling a memory mate for like $9.99, now I'm selling it for $29.99. All of a sudden, like, you're thinking your AOVs are going to shoot up, but it might be discouraging. You can't just shoot up that much. You can go up incrementally, because you don't want to shock your customers basically into not buying and creating a negative experience. It's the overall order. Laura asked a question: does the AOV include the PD fee and it's the total? It's the total order. So when that is subtotal, or when that is totaled out, that is what the AOV is. Just like with a customer that was doing like a paper order form, their AOV included, typically, or should have included, tax and shipping. You like inflated that into the price, so you would get the same AOV with that. All right, next question. What do you sell a unit for? A unit is just like below we have listed an 8x10, 2 5x7s, 8 wallets, etc. I typically like to branch off of the 8x10. That seems to be a little bit easier for me. So what are you selling your 8x10 for? Are you selling it for like $9.99, $16.99, $29.99? It really varies. It depends. But what are you selling that for? Because that is a great starting off point to figure out how to adjust your price sheet for your products above and below that, depending on what they are. So, and then how to figure out your margins for that. All right. And then the next last question. How would you rate the quality of your photography that you provide? Excuse me. Are you new, just getting started, or are you an image master and gear junkie? So these are things to also consider with your photography. If you're like, it's not necessarily even something to be scared about. When I was first starting out in photography, I didn't charge a whole lot for my pictures because I was providing a service where I was just getting started. But then as I got better and I honed in on my craft, and I went to workshops and learned technical things and got the gear to back it up, and I was able to dedicate the time to my customers, then that's when my prices started to increase. There was value that was associated in my service and in my products. So then my price went up accordingly. And then if you guys have ever done the deep dive and look back into your skills and look how you were taking pictures 5 years ago versus today, that is a great way to determine if you're having a hard time figuring what number you are. You see, what previous pictures you were taking, and then how far you've come, and that might help you narrow down that number, and how to figure out what your value is and how to charge accordingly. All right, so now we're gonna do a demo. So what type of shoot it is, what type of photographer you are, what your unit costs are, all of these things, and now you're ready to start setting up a price sheet. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. All right, so all right. So keep in mind, this is mine, but this is kind of like a demo side. So of course my AOVs are shot for reprints, but I'm going to go ahead and start and set up a price sheet. So the first thing first, when you first sign up for a photo day, you're going to select at least one lab that you want to join with. But let's say for whatever reason you want to change over to another lab for a shoot forever, follow your heart, whatever it is about that lab that just makes your heart soar, you want to go ahead and choose them. You can do that in your studio section. So you go over to your settings, My Studio, go to labs, and then here are all of our wonderful lab partners listed out for you to go ahead and add. Once you add, you can't remove, but they're there forever. So price sheets are attached to the lab that you're setting it up with. So a question that gets asked a lot is, can I set up a price sheet with one lab, can I change it over to the other? Sadly, no, because they offer different products, different themes, different prices, all that stuff like that. So we can't just like flip it over. You really have to customize your price sheet per lab that you're choosing. For me, I have no favorites. I added them all. So I have all our wonderful lab partners added to my store. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new price sheet. I go to the store section, and then I go ahead and I click on price sheets, and this will open up my price sheet. Here I actually have a price sheet for each lab that I choose. In the circumstance that I also have one that's listed right here. This is like a photo day team. This is one that I use that's specifically, let's say, for like reprints, and we'll get into that later. So what you have here, it'll tell you when the price sheet was created, what's the name of the price sheet, which is really important, the lab it is associated with, the shipping type. We do offer different types of shipping here at Photo Day. You can do drop shipping, which means it's a one-to-one customer experience. The customer orders, they enter in their address, and it is shipped directly to their door. We offer bulk shipping with private galleries through Millers, which means that you can offer this option for your customers where they can place their order, and their orders are held and batched together and then shipped to the location that you implement into the job. Or you can offer drop and bulk, which means you can give the customer the option, if they don't want to wait the 4 weeks or whatever it is to get the bulk orders delivered, they can go ahead and pay the shipping and have that order delivered right to their door. So we do offer those 3 types. And then we have actions. If you want to delete your price sheet, you're done with it, no more, you can delete it. If you want to copy it, you click this middle icon right here of paper. And then if you want to adjust it, then you would click on this gear. So like for this one, I'm going to click on the gear. And this is where you can edit the price sheet title and then the markup if you wanted to. I know it's very scary, the markup. You're afraid that this red, I think this is the only red font that we have in Photo Day, other than I think deleting or an error. So it does become very scary. But if you do not want to change your markup and you just want to change your title, you can absolutely do that. I just did. I'm not adjusting my markup at all, and I just click update. and then nothing is updated, just the title. No markup is changed because I know the time that you guys spend doing all of that is very important. So I just wanted to prove it to you that if you don't change the markup, it won't change. But if you do change the markup, it will change for every product that you've associated. So that is important to consider when you're doing markups typically. And again, know your region, know those different things, those 4 things to consider as far as like what you should charge for a margin markup. But typically with products, it's about a 250% markup. And then for print products like 4x6s, 5x7s, it can be around 500% if you want like a starting off point. But again, I strongly encourage you to like go do the quiz, know your value, know what you're worth, know the product, and how you should price yourself accordingly. Don't just like set up your whole bread and butter and your income based off of a win or your competition. Please do not do that. Okay, so I have a sample price sheet here that I drafted up, a sports price sheet. This is through Reedy. So what I did here is this is immediately your print products are going to be your a la carte. You do not have to enter, if you want to not offer products a la carte, you don't have to. You can just offer them as packaged products, which is really awesome. But here, like sometimes a concern will come up where a studio is like, well, I don't want to sell anything for under, I don't want to give it away. So I don't want to, I want to make sure I make some money and I don't want to sell anything for less than a certain amount for a certain price point. You can absolutely do that by adjusting your quantities of certain products if you wanted. Offered by each lab. Bob, that is a really great question. Does PD have a listing of all the products offered by each lab? Because Photo Day is constantly adding products from the lab, we don't have an updated list, but the most updated list that you have, that's honestly why I have those price sheets listed here of all the labs. So if something is added, I just go to that sample price sheet and then I start adding products. And if there are new products in the catalog, that means that new products have been added. And then once I do that, I'll be able to see over on the left exactly what the unit costs are for them. So that's kind of like a workaround. It's something good to keep in your pocket. Also, we do update you via newsletter, or if you have a certain question over a specific item, just reach out to us in the bubble and we'll be sure to let you know. Okay. So this is what I have based off of the quiz that I took. I set myself up at my unit cost to be $19.99 for my 8x10s. So I've adjusted my prices accordingly for my price sheet. I have 2 5x7s for the same price. I have 4 4x6s for $19.99. You will notice that I instituted charm pricing into my price sheet, which is the 0.99 or 0.00. Yes. So you have this available to you to go ahead and look through. I did a little bit an enlargement. I'm going to turn off Siri because she's bothering me. I did an enlargement. My memory mates, this is kind of important too. If you're someone that maybe does composite work and you don't offer memory mates, how do you charge, for a composite versus just an 8x10? I strongly consider you guys to, or encourage you guys to consider the option of leveling out your 8x10s and composite memory mates to be about the same price. So that's an option for you. And that's what I've done here. So my memory mates are the same price as an 8x10. And then I have specialty items such as magnets and buttons and coffee. Some of these things I do slightly adjust the price depending on how well they sell, or if I want to kind of like test the waters. Sometimes if there's a product that I get particularly hyped up about, or I've gotten feedback from the customers and maybe I haven't instituted it or into a price sheet before, but I see that a lab now offers it, I might set it a little bit lower as far as my margins to see how it sells. Or I include it into a package to just kind of test the waters. And if it becomes a crowd favorite, then I start to adjust it into my margins and price it accordingly, because now it's a heavy hitter. So that's always something that you can do as well. Bag tags, keychains, all that kind of stuff. All this stuff can be quantityed out. Also, I thought it was pretty cool that Rudy offers sports balls now, so I added that in there, as well as banners. Okay, so like I said, this is only my a la carte section that would be viewable to your customers. And then I have my digital products. If this was a la carte digital, I do not personally encourage, especially if you're doing a high res download, put that up in your packages. Don't sell just maybe a quantity of one. Do like an even and an odd in your packages, and then sell them bundled together. Again, it's just a preference. If you want to sell it just like a one-off, then you absolutely can. Or social sharing downloads, you can include that. So they can just add that to any order if you would like. Okay. And then before we get into packages, shipping rates, I wanted to go ahead and talk about this. This is included in all of your price sheets. You can see based off the actual lab costs and then what the shipping rate will be. We automatically calculate this for you and we display this to your customers. So they choose it. We calculate the lab costs, and if it's $10 or over or under $10, I'm sorry, then we don't show them the $350 shipping for ground. We only show them $495, and then we tell you how long around the estimated delivery time it'll take for your orders to get to your customers. So we also display this to your customers as well. We do include a disclaimer because I know that the Postal Service, as well as just any sort of mail carriers, has been kind of rogue and wild the past years. So there is a disclaimer about COVID if there is anything. But again, with anything that's shipped, we do provide tracking. So that's really beneficial to not only you, but to your customers. If you ever at any moment want to see where your orders are or where they're going, you can check through your latest orders, and then you just click on the tracking and it'll tell you where it is based off of the order. So you do have that available. All right, so now going back into my price sheet, and now packages. All right, so packages based off of a suggestion from one of our fellow studios, Dan Burgess from Ohana Photography. He threw the idea out there of, I wonder if we can put emojis in here, and you guys ran with it. I love this, and I think this is awesome. Knowing your market, knowing the people that are buying, the people that are typically buying or that have kiddos in this age range that we're photographing, use emojis every day, love emojis, and talk through emojis. So speak to them in emojis with your package descriptions and titles. I think it's awesome. It populates great on photo day. So that's something that you can definitely add. For this one, I put a value pack is my title. And then this is because once I start generating my price sheet, this value pack will have the biggest discount. Fun fact, it'll also have the highest markup. So when I'm generating packages, something that I typically will do is I find this sweet spot first. I don't start at my lowest package, my economy package, or like just enough package or anything like that. I find my sweet spot. This is where I want my customers going. This has the most value to them, so it's a great benefit to them, but also it has a pretty high margin for me, so I'm getting the most return on it as well. And then I can start pricing my packages accordingly, which is great. I also included in my description that the customer will be saving over 25% with this package. And then they get to enjoy prints, magnets, and 2 free social sharing digital downloads. This is a product that is of no cost to the studio, digital downloads, which is yay for you guys. So you can sell those. They're a great marketing incentive for your customers to buy packages, because not only do they get something for free, but you aren't really getting, there's no huge cost associated to that, but also they get something immediately. So while they're waiting on their pictures to be delivered to their house or for bulk shipping to come, you can go ahead and this will be the digital download will go right to them into their order receipt, so they can share that across social media. All right. I'm also going to go ahead and show you within this package how I listed out my products. So I have 2 4x6s, 3 5x7s, 1 8x10, a Memory Mate vertical, 2 3.5x5 magnets, and 2 social sharing downloads. Again, you can't quantity out a digital download because it's considered its own product, because people can only buy one image as a digital download. So that's why there's no quantity next to it. But yeah, and I also went ahead and I lined items every product that's in the package. The benefit of doing this is that you can, if you want to utilize multi-pose heavily within your packages for your customers, where they get to pick and choose which images they want for each product, they can do that when the products are lined itemed out. If you do like 4x6 quantity of 2, they can get 2 4x6s of one pose. So I wanted to go ahead and let them choose whatever their heart desires. I want to create the best customer experience possible. So I'm letting them choose their own adventure here with this package. They can choose different poses for the magnets and for the social sharing downloads. This will show you what the base cost of all of those products are, as well as the markup, how much photo day is taking, as well as the retail price to the customer. Again, instituted charm pricing here as well. So yeah. All right, so I will go ahead and show you guys too what this looks like in a job. So when I'm ready to attach a price sheet to a job, I will go ahead and go to my settings, to my store, and then products. And I am going to refresh, and I'm going to add my sports 2021. And this is where it's going to ask me to pick a theme. This is something that you have to do this through every stage of your galleries before you save and publish. And when you add a price sheet, it will pull these themes for you. So for this, because I'm doing, like I said, soccer, I'm going to go ahead and give my customers the option with soccer, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick universal. Not all themes are the same, even throughout the labs. So like you have different, basically, if a customer wants to order a Memory Mate, like I said, I have Reedy attached to the sports price sheet. Reedy may have like 5 or 6 different soccer themes for a Memory Mate. So the customer will get to choose that. And I'll show you here in a second what that looks like. And then I click save. So now they'll be able to choose from soccer themes and universal themes. All right. Great question, Chuck. I will actually go back into my photos, and let's say Chuck asked a question where he said, for the social sharing download, can they select any image for that social sharing download? And the answer to that is it's up to you, the studio. If you do not, let's say for, what we'll do for basketball, if you do not want them purchasing, let's say, this vertical image for whatever reason, you have this little cloud over here on the right of all of the images, and you can just go ahead and highlight that. And when you click on it and it's red, that means that this item is now purchasable as a product, but not purchasable as a digital download. So if you want to offer individual images as downloads, but not the, maybe let's say like the team photo, you can turn that off. You can also like select multiple images, and if I want to go ahead and turn that off, I can go ahead and disable digital download for all of those images. So it's not just clicking through every single one. With some of you people that have like 5,000 images in a gallery, that would take forever. So we made it a little bit easier here for you. So yeah, so now those images are available for product purchase, but not digital download purchase. So that, hope that answers your question for that. Also, speaking of digital downloads, those are great packages to create. I'm going to go back to my price sheet. So I'll show you guys into my packages. I'm going to add a digital only package. And then I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'm going to go ahead and give them the best savings here. Save 25% package. Because these are going to be high res. For the whole family. All right, if I wanted to include an emoji, let's see. No, I can't. Fancy keyboard. Okay. Let's see. I'll put a little smiley face. And then all right. So you have your catalogs here. So you can go ahead and click the little caret or the field to see all labs will have this where it's kind of like itemized out depending on the type of product it is. For this, I'm going to select digital downloads, and I'm going to add 4 digital downloads. And then again, for this, I'm going to include a quantity discount, and it's going to be $99.99. So for 4 digital downloads, I'll get those for $99.99. Again, the world is your oyster. Please charge yourself accordingly. But you have these. You can also offer, like we did in the value pack, but you can charge for it. You can do like a kind of like own the image type of package where you include a digital download as well as like a 4x6, a 5x7, and a memory mate. So they can go ahead and they can get just a little bit of product as well as the higher res digital download. It is important to note that with a social sharing download, that is something we do not give a print release to for your customers. This is meant only, we resize it and is really meant only to be shared across social media. It's not really printable at all. And it's also not released to be printable. Like you don't have the print release for that. If it's a high res download, we will deliver to them exactly the same resolution that you upload to us, slightly compressed so they can view it quicker, but we don't change the DPI, we don't change the resolution. The actual file size of it might change. Like if you upload it to us and it's like 10 megabytes, it might be a little bit lower when your customer gets a hold of it. And that's because we just kind of get rid of some of the metadata and we slightly compress some of that metadata information that needs to be retained. So it'll load faster and won't take as long. In order to do that, it will slightly reduce the size of the image. Okay, the file size, again, not the quality. Okay, and so now I want to go ahead and show you guys what this looks like. In this job, I have my access code. So I'm going to go to my galleries. Which I subscribe to a lot of. Oops. There we go, a little bit easier. Enter my access code. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and view all photos. Like I said, this image, love this image, looks great. Has my watermark on it. And then I can choose, do I want a package? Do I want to get a la carte? These are all the options. Oh, one more thing I forgot. With your price sheets, sorry, back and forth a little bit. Don't mean to do that. But this will be good. For any of the a la carte products, if you notice that some of them are heavy hitters or you want to start introducing them a little bit more, or just make them quick and easy to find for your customers, like let's say like the memory mates, I want them to be able just to like go to the storefront, and if they want to buy that on their own, they can do that. I'm going to go ahead and feature an image, or a product. So you can feature a product by clicking on this little star all the way over to the right. You can feature up to 5 products in your storefront, which will make it easier for your customers to view. So I will go ahead and refresh and go back into the gallery, go back to order this photo. And now I have a featured product listed right here. Popular products are showcased by the lab. These are the 5 most popular products at this particular time with this particular lab that you choose. And then they have their product, their a la carte to choose from, as well as their packages. With the packages, as well as the products themselves, you can move them around as much or change them around as much as you want. You can also do this with packages. If I want the value pack to be displayed first, I can just click and drag it and move it, and then it'll go ahead and change for the customer. A question that gets asked a lot as well is, a customer just reached out and they want to purchase this one item. Can I adjust my price sheet and will it update? Yeah, absolutely. Price sheets are live. If you want to change a price, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to add a different package, you can go ahead and do that. It's really up to you. You do not have to swap out the price sheets. You can just add and edit, accordingly how the situation suits best. But yeah, so for the value pack, I'll click on that. And you can see here, we already populate, like I said, the products that are included in the package, and then we showcase to the customer the description that you wrote up about, who is this package perfect for? What are some of the high key points that are, the free things that are included in here, as well as how much they're saving with this package. So customers get to go ahead and they can zoom in. They can rotate the crop orientation if they would like. They can reset if they're like, oh boy, I got myself into a whole customization, deep dive here. I need to reset. Or they can change their image. This is all available to them. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this 4x6. And now it's gone ahead and confirmed it and populated that preview for the customer. It saves the crop, it populates the crop for the customer so they can see that and they have to confirm it. If what they see is what they get. Especially with like 5x7s, I want to go ahead and you can see here with 5x7s, you have that margin because it's a different crop ratio. So you just adjust accordingly and then the customer will go ahead and like, well, maybe I just really want to zoom in on Timmy here. And then boom, that's my 5x7. I still have that 4x6 to pick. I cannot add this to my cart until I have confirmed and gone through all of the steps for all of the products in this package. Like the memory mate. I wanted to see, let's say, soccer. So here with Reedy, they have 4 different themes for the customer to choose from, even though this is a basketball picture. So sorry, we'll go ahead and choose maybe a little bit more of a universal. In the circumstance, we're going to go ahead and go with blue. And this is going to be, see, it's asking me if this is the group right here up top. It's not, so I'm going to change the image. It looks like he only had individuals for this one. So it brings you back to similar. This is a customer experience we have built in with Photo Day. If they change the image, we'll bring them back to similar. We're not going to bring them back to all the photos. And they can also choose here to find their photos if they would like. Yeah, the gallery is watermarked. We have the default, that's the one that's here, purchase this photo to remove watermark, listed on the images. And you can change that to a custom watermark if you would like, or you can use the default if you want, but it is global to the studio. It's not specific to the gallery, if that was a question you were asking, but that is a great ask. But yeah, so we have that. We'll go ahead, let's do a different subject. We'll use this one. All right, that's my group. I'm going to confirm it. My individual, choose this one. And then this is where the customer can add their custom text. Let's see, we'll go with we'll make him Timmy Smith. All right, so I've gone ahead and filled out all of the text fields, and then I confirm that. And now Photo Day will populate a preview, sorry, for your customers so they can view it. They can make any adjustments. They can go back if they don't like anything. They can zoom in to see exactly how it's going to look and make their adjustments. And once they're happy with it, they can confirm it, and then it'll go ahead and give it a check mark. All right. So we have that. And we're going to go back to our slide presentation. Okay, so we went ahead and we went through the demo. If you guys have any questions about that, feel free to let me know. I just wanted for the sake of everything. All right, so now that you guys know how to set up a price sheet, you know how to charge accordingly for your products in that price sheet, you know all about attaching it, what lab to kind of choose or something like that, you can go ahead and do that. So now, photo day hacks. These are some of the hacks that you guys can go ahead and do if you would like. There are things such as like a free social sharing download. This is like a marketing tool that you can deploy that will help to kind of create a bit of a buzz and an urgency, and the customer gets something out of it. If you want to generate a free social sharing download promo for your job, what you'll do is you'll go back into your into your price sheets, and that copy icon that I showed you, you will copy that price sheet. And then from another studio, from Regina, she actually had a really good idea as far as how she titled her price sheets. She did one that was like Sports 2021, and then she did Sports 2021 SMD, social media download. So that lets her know like which price sheet is which for when she is going to deploy this promo incentive. And all you do is you make sure that when you go to your packages, you add that social sharing digital download to all of your packages, and you make sure that the product price stays the same. So like for the digital downloads, let's say I did a promo for that, I would do the 4 digital downloads plus 1 social sharing download for $99.99. It wouldn't change on my copied price sheet. And then when I publish my gallery, I would include that price sheet in my as my price sheet for my storefront for the first 24, 48, first week, whatever you want for your customers. You can also reach out to us in the bubble, and we can actually deploy an SMS message to let your customers know, hey man, purchase a package, you get a free social sharing download included for such and such time. We work with you on the copy with that, depending on the time period that you would like. So you have that option available. Self-fulfillment. So here's the hack for self-fulfillment that you can do. If you are someone that, like, let's say you need to do maybe like a banner or something like that, you can generate a package within Photo Day that would be like the banner package. Again, title it accordingly for your packages. And then what you would do is a package needs to include at least 2 items. So what you can do is you can do physical products like a 4x6 print, or you can do like a social sharing download or 2 social sharing downloads if you would like. But basically, with included in the description, you will write that, you know, upon placing the order, you will receive your digital downloads, your product shipped, you know, banner shipped separately. Because once that order is placed, you will get to view, you know, you will know that your customer has placed that order. You can self-fulfill that product and ship it to them. You set up the price of the package to be what the cost of whatever you're selling and self-fulfilling. So if it's a banner, whatever the price of the banner you're charging for that banner, that's the price of that package. That's kind of like a way that you can get around self-fulfilling products. Also, because they're picking a digital download or like a 4x6 print, you will know the picture that they want for that banner, which is really good as well. Composite memory mates. If you are doing composite memory mates, you can go ahead and include that in the description for your customers. Let them know that the 8x10 that's included is a composite memory mate. Again, adjusting the description of your package. Also in your, this is getting, let's see. Okay, let's go back to this one. For your job, You can also include in here into your photos, you can upload an image into here and give it every single tag that you have that's included into your job, and it'll say like, you know, it's basically an image disclaimer, so you can just add text to it and say like, you know, be sure to order your 8x10 composite as this product or whatever it is. And that's kind of a way that you can educate your customers on exactly what they're ordering for those type of products. I don't remember the other ones. I gotta go back. Sorry. Back and forth. Back to slides. Okay. No group downloads. We showed you how to do that. Holiday price sheet. Ooh, this is a fun one. Okay, so we're just going to talk about this one. I'm not really going to show you, but basically, if you are going to be utilizing any sort of promo, and I will show you where that is in your studio dashboard. But if you're doing a promo and you need to do a certain price sheet for that, you can go ahead and do that. You can generate a price sheet that is a little bit more edited and offer specialty products maybe only. Maybe it doesn't even offer like packages, or maybe it's a package like around Christmas. It's 4 ornaments, you know, for a certain price, not like Memory Mates. They've already done that. This is a promo. So you can go ahead and make sure that you have like a holiday price sheet. Make sure you price it out accordingly and title it accordingly as well. So when you're adding it to those jobs that you want to include in the promo, it's easy to find. Bulk and drop shipping. The price sheet is just a little bit different. I will show you that, as well as last thing I remembered now. Okay. There you go. All right. So when you're doing a bulk or bulk and drop price sheet, when you are creating a new price sheet, that's offered down here. You'll notice that this is grayed out because I'm choosing by default White House. Let's say if I go to Miller's, all of a sudden the shipping changes, because right now this is only available with Miller's, the ability to do bulk or drop shipping. So this is where you would choose that shipping process, you would choose your markup, and then you would title your price sheet accordingly. So that's how you can set up your price sheets to be any or all of the above. Okay, and then the other like little hack that I wanted to kind of show you is, you've been with Photo Day for a while, you have been doing some shoots, and then you are getting to the end of your season and you're just like, I wonder how things are doing. I want to know what products are selling, what products aren't selling. How do I find that out? I will show you. You can simply go to your reports, and your reports will show you your sales, all of your orders if you want to see those, as well as products. These are all the products that have sold. See, I told you I did it wrong. I wasn't lying. I sold packages like that. But you have a list here of either packages, a la carte. You can sort this out by job. You can go ahead and do I want to just look at my packages? Do I just want to look at a la carte? I want to see how things are selling. So you can see here, you can see the quantity of those products that have sold, how much money you've made off of them, different things like that. I know. Those are the packages. I told you. Also, the price sheet that was associated with that. So if you want to make any sort of adjustments, you absolutely can. So like right here, the heavy hitters, 5x7s, 8x10s. I will tell you guys, when you are setting up price sheets and you get really excited about products and what products you should offer, if you have questions about that, just let us know. If you don't have like the historical data in here in products and you have a question of like what is selling, what isn't selling, you have a bunch of different places where you can actually kind of find this information. You can ask your customers, ask your league organization, get feedback from people that you've already photographed to see what they would like, but also you can ask us and you can ask the lab. I will tell you right now, thinking about it, probably it's just my personality and my mindset, but thinking about best practices and what's going to make my customers happiest, what kind of products do I want to sell. you will notice that I created packages that did not include wallets or 3.5 by 5s based off of feedback that I've gotten and feedback that I've seen personally within Photo Day. Those are something that maybe was a little bit lab oriented, or maybe something that was at one time really popular, but you can't find frames for 3.5 by 5. So it became very frustrating for customers. So it was something that was always included in these packages because they were units and they were cheap to spec out, but it wasn't something that was beneficial to the customer. So I really wanted to change that. And I wanted to offer products that they would actually utilize and that they would hang up on their walls and that they would use, and they would look back and enjoy the photographs that I took of their little Timmys and Tinas. So that's why I didn't include those. If that's something that, like, each organization, job, shoot, a gallery is its own unique snowflake and special in its own way, and you know that wallets are a heavy hitter and popular and your parents love them, include them. Do not, don't listen to me about that. I just don't like, the feedback I was getting where it wasn't frameable. They didn't like cutting them out for like wallets. They didn't like cutting out the wallets. They just wanted a wallet. Also, a lot of people don't carry wallets as much anymore or something. I was getting a lot of feedback that they didn't want them. So I removed them from my price sheets. I figured out what the markup was, what the margin was for those products, and then I added the magnet instead. So yeah. Yeah. So someone said, I know it's off topic, but curious if Photo Day offers any general or theme templates for marketing for Picture Day. So all I have to do is tweak and print it out. So I think, oh yeah, Lisa already took care of you. We have a whole marketing and resource section in your studio for you guys to check out. Yeah. Oh yeah, the product thing is new. Yeah. So that's something that our engineers have been working very hard on. So yes. But that is, for the most part, that's pretty much it for as far as price sheets here today on a how-to series with price sheets here at Photo Day. How to know your worth. Let's talk about cost versus value. So knowing your worth, the value in the products that you're offering, the package name and descriptions, use those emojis, make people happy. Are you offering offers? If you are, include that into your margin or price yourself, make sure you price yourself accordingly. So you aren't giving an offer that is just, you're basically giving like a 50% discount on something and now you can't keep your lights on. Or if your offer is too high and it doesn't cover the cost, keep in mind with Photo Day, we pay everyone for you. We pay the labs that we take care of. The shipping is already taken care of. Photo Day takes their fee, and Stripe takes their fee. Everybody's paid out, including the studio. Immediately goes into your Stripe account with your taxes. So all of that stuff is, if the offer is too high, you cannot offer 100% discount on something because it has to cover the costs associated with it. So keep that in mind when you're creating those offers. And then how many poses are you offering? If you're someone that, let's say you're doing dance and this, that with this studio, maybe it was something where they didn't have a lot of kids and now they have to do Tinas are in 4 and 5 different routines. So, and then you have about maybe 5 poses for each costume, for each routine. So that, those galleries are building and building. Offer a digital 10-pack, 20-pack. Think about those things. You're offering multiple poses. You don't want to think of on a sports mindset where it's I'm just going to offer 2 5x7s and 1 8x10. It's not going to be enough. So they're going to see all those pictures and they're not going to know what to do. So think about the poses and how to set up your packages accordingly with that. All right. That is it, guys. If you have any questions, if you took that quiz and now you're starting from scratch and you're I don't know what to do. I need help. I need feedback. What can I do? There is a little bubble at the bottom right-hand corner of your studio dashboard. That is where I live, and I love to hang out with you guys and talk to you all day about price sheets. Keep in mind, there's only one of me, but there are many of us in the support bubble. So we would all love to help you with any questions or concerns that you have. You can also email us. You can reach out to us at support@photoday.io, and we will be more than happy to take care of you guys and set you up for success with your price sheets, with your jobs. You just let us know. We appreciate you guys. We hope you learned a lot. If you have any questions or concerns now, feel free. We have a couple minutes. We can go ahead and do that. Lisa and Krista have been doing a great job taking care of you guys. So feel free to give us any feedback too, if there's any sort of information that you've noticed in practice that maybe does or doesn't work and you want to share that. We have a great users group on Facebook, so feel free to reach out and share that knowledge. We are a thriving community that loves to collaborate, community over competition with you guys. So I have been absolutely astounded how supportive you guys have all been of one another. So if you have some really great insight, feel free to share it in the users group to benefit those around you as well. So we're all just taking that industry and just moving it forward. Yes, awesome, guys. Okay, great. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, come reach out into the bubble and I would love to chat with you. Until next time, guys, bye.